So pressure, when I'm talking about walking through them dark alleys, man, by yourself and understanding, like, man, I don't even see the light. I don't even see the light, you know. But I'm walking by faith. What's going on, man? Welcome to TC Podcast. And if you haven't been to my channel, on this channel, we talk about personal credit, business credit. We talk about lifestyle. And we also talk about personal growth. Anything that's going to elevate you, man. So if you've never been with me, man, pull up a chair and get some of this game. So today's topic, man, is going to be a very important topic. And a lot of people don't talk about this topic. We're going to talk about the loneliness that come with growth when you're going to the next level. A lot of times people talk about, like how people keep you stuck at the bottom, but when it comes talking about growth, people don't realize, man, on how lonely they can get, and you can't bring the people that you want with you to being able to, really take it to another level, and you want to be able to, celebrate their success with some people, but a lot of times that don't happen because when you grow, you outgrow people, you outgrow things, old habits and stuff. But I'm gonna tell y'all some key factors that you really got to pay attention to, or it's gonna keep you stuck in the middle, man. Remember, when you're going on this journey, when you're walking along to trying to do something you never did before, yeah, you can have a mentor and you can have people telling you about it, but you still got to do the thing. But you also get stuck in between, man, because when you at the lower level, when you take that next step up, a lot of people can't get to the next step, and like I say, if not, it could pull you back down. So a lot of times you have to detach from the bottom, but you in the middle, man, because you haven't made it to where you trying to go, but you in the middle, and it can get really lonely there. So we're gonna talk about that today, man. Yeah, today is May 28th, man. It's 1:50 p.m. Yeah, we shooting this in the middle of the day, man, the way I like it, man. I don't really have a set time when I shoot. I like to, shoot when I feel like I gotta say something. So yeah, I gotta say something. So we about to get into it. Gonna get into it, man. So yeah, we gonna talk about the lonely part of growth. And the first thing I want to bring up when we talking about this, I want to talk about the actual ability to change habit. So when you get to a certain level, you gotta automatic switch that habit, or you just find yourself, drizzling down back to the bottom, man. Like they say, good habit of old creatures, something like that. But once you going through, you must change them habits, man, because you have to learn the habits to being able to keep you elevated. So, for instance, we're going to talk about food. That may be the first one, the way you eat. When you start getting to a level, you have different responsibilities that you got to face. You got different responsibilities you got to attend to. So, if you're not eating right, this could play tricks on your mind, you know what I'm saying? It stop your ability of thinking to your, higher level, because the food you intaking is, damaging your mind and your body, man. And no, I ain't telling you gotta be a vegan or vegetarian, but shit, you just can't sit up and eat McDonald's and fast food all the time like you used to. You gotta have home cooked meals, man. You gotta interpret vegetables, fruit in your diet, man. This, keep you, sharp. So there's one habit that I can bring up, but you gotta change money habits. Like I'm saying, you gotta view on how you spending money, how you allocate your money, the people you give your money to, understanding how your money is working for you. Because if you don't understand these things, once you actually start getting a piece of success and you start getting money, you're going to find your way drizzling back down, because, like I say, you ain't going to have an assignment for every dollar and it's going to be walking out your life, man. So I think that's another important topic, understanding how you manage your money. You know what I'm saying? Like I always recommend, man, having a pot for everything that you do, man. Understanding, giving your dollar, giving your money assignment every dollar. When you do this, now you can see exactly where your money going, because you can make more money, but if you're not disciplined with it, you're gonna lose more. Like they say, like you can, just because you make more money don't mean you hang on to it. So that's the biggest thing, man. And they gonna come with habit as well. There's gonna be a change of habit on how you discipline your money. There's gonna be a big one, man. Change your habit. I remember when I first made my first $10,000, man. I had the same mindset. First $10,000 in business, rather, man. When I actually got out here and hustled for it, did it for myself, not working a job. Like I said, man, I did a little splurging. You know, I started buying stuff that I didn't need. I learned really, really early. I started buying shit that I didn't need, and then once I realized, like, man, this shit don't even matter, man. Just because you got money coming in, man, you gotta treat it as if you don't have a lot coming in. So when I was going through that journey, I was splurging. I realized, man, after you take the tax money away, you take away, you know, the expenses for the business, man. You hire your employees. The extra money that you not, you know, spending, that money was going out the door for me. So you gotta really, really pay attention to that, man. Always put up money. Always save your money, man. Because if that's the case, what you doing it for? If you ain't putting it up. So this is very, very key. Very, very key. So the next topic I want to talk about is outgrowing people, man. Once you finally take that ladder up to the next level, everybody can't go. You know, it's a sad situation, man, but everybody can't go to the top with you. And you realize you make these decisions real quick, or else, like I say, it's gonna keep you in mud. You have to understand, when it comes down to family, friends, everybody just ain't meant to be business partners. Yes, we want our friends. Yes, we want our family there. But at the same time, when you bring in new people who does exactly what you need them to do, who's already experienced, you don't have no feelings attached to that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a stranger, you teaching something new. You don't have any feelings attached to this, so you can handle that differently. Versus you trying to bring people with you just because, you know, you started in a sandlot together, man. You show a day one partner, but now you realize you got feelings in between your decision making. It don't just become about business no more. It's just about, damn, did I come off wrong with my friend? Did I come off wrong with my family? Now you overthinking your whole situation. So when you overthink your whole situation, upstairs you can't properly manage the business the way you need to do it, because, like I say, you got emotions attached. Now sometimes people can find friends and family to grow with them, but you know what I'm saying, it got to be a thing that you really, really communicate and understand. Like, if the job is not being done to, you know, embetter the business, that you can no longer go along with it, because, like I say, it is gonna put holes in the business. You'll realize that you're sinking. You'll be sinking, man. So that's big, man. I tried, man, when I first started fixing credit and trying to help, you know, my loved ones, you know, put them on. You know, be like, man, we can really make this like a family type deal, but nobody else didn't see their vision. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else didn't see their vision. And some, you know, just see, you know, money coming in, but they don't realize the whole back office to it, man, with expenses and all this stuff. So now, if nobody's trying to help you grow, put money back into you, feed the ego positive things, you know what I'm saying, coming with ideas, if none of it, them type of things not happening, that means you know, it's counting away. It's not growing you. It's not elevating you. And when it comes down to business, we all have goals, man. Everybody not just run the business just to say we run the business. Hop Instagram just say I got a business, man. We trying to make money. All business owners, all in all, we all trying to make money. Whether you got the ones who in business for good reason, and you got people who in business for bad reason, but it all equals up to one thing that everybody's trying to do. No matter what nobody's telling you, we all trying to get to the bag. So outgrowing people, man, there's gonna be a big one, man. There's gonna be like a harsh decision. I don't want to say harsh, but there's gonna be a challenging decision that you gotta make for yourself, and you gotta make for your family, man. Surrounding yourself with the right energy, whether there's family or not, but it has to be the right circle in order for you to grow. Yep. Because when it comes down to family and friends, you can easily get through off tasks too. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be in work mode once you see their vision, and you can be working so hard, man. But people could still be in party mode, comfortable mode around you. For me, I speak for myself, man. I used to party a lot, going to college, even high school, no ID parties, man. Just growing up thinking about my whole life. After college, man, I used to like to party, you know what I'm saying? I used to have fun. But I had to cut that time off, man. I'd be like, man, I can go, do that at any time, man. I'm like, the partying is really holding me down, man. I had to, make a decision for myself. And like I say, when you got the families and friends around you who like to do the same thing, like 9 times out of 10, you may just, find yourself in that lifestyle more. So this is where you gotta, start the detachment too. You gotta understand, you gotta have working minds around you, man, hungry people around you. And the more you surround yourself with it, this your new reality. That's what you see day to day. So this will help you grow, automatically, because this all your mind is focused on for sure. It's all your mind is focused on. Yep. And sometimes they gonna come with people misunderstanding your ambition. You know, a lot of people gonna say, man, you phony, you fake, you change. People not gonna understand, and you'll realize you'll get tired of explaining yourself after a while. You be trying to be like, man, this is what I'm focusing on, but this is what I'm doing. But sometimes people not just hearing it, and you'll realize it start becoming draining for you. It becomes draining for you because at some point you don't have time to sit around and try to make people understand. You gotta actually start showing people. When people start seeing now, people like, oh man, this person's serious. Instead of just sitting around talking about it, actually putting it to work. And how the hell you gonna put something to work if you constantly keep explaining yourself and you keep feeding your subconscious mind just, oh man, what people think, man. You gotta really put all this shit to rest, and you gotta focus, deeply focus, I'm talking about intentionally focus on exactly what you're trying to do. And it come with losses, man. It come with losses when it come down to this shit, man. It come with a lot of losses, man. We talking about friendship, we talking about relationship. Even if you ain't got the right woman in your life, man. Even if you ain't got the right woman in your life, man. The wrong woman could ruin you. And I'm just saying, like, she don't have to understand everything about the business, but you need somebody supportive, somebody who gon', do things that you ask them, regardless if they understand it or not, man. And understanding when it's grind mode, and when it's time to shine, it's time to shine. So you gotta have somebody with that understanding, man. So you might be in a position to where I'm making a little money, but hey, I might can't afford that bag. I might can't afford that trip. I might can't afford to do that thing yet because you focus in grind mode. And it's important, man, because a lot of guys, when it comes down to women, they could lose themselves, man. And if you lose yourself, ain't no way you can hold down a household or a family if you ain't got your mental right and you ain't hit the strides that you hit or want to hit. So that's key too, man. So losing relationships, man, it's part of the journey. It's a lot of pain that come with it. Like I say, it's a lot of pain because at the end of the day, you with that person for a reason. A lot of us, we with people who we want to be with. It's just about alignment. As you get older, man, you realize, man, what aligns with me and what don't. So, and that's gonna allow you to take the emotions out of it, man. But you gotta sit down and think. You need that a long time to think about stuff like this because it's so important to understand what they look like. And if you don't know what they look like, I say it's gonna keep you in mud. So alignment, this gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one, man. And then we'll talk about pressure. When it comes down to actually running a business, man, and doing anything successful in life, man, you're gonna have pressure on your back, man. Anything worth having is gonna have pressure behind it, man. Because it's gonna be obstacles that you gotta overcome that's gonna stop you from trying to get to this goal. And they bring a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? You have goals, you have vision boards, you're trying to hit certain quotas. When it ain't, everything ain't always gonna be green. You know what I'm saying? Just because you put it on a vision board don't mean something can't go wrong. Something is gonna go wrong, as a matter of fact. You gotta learn how to adapt when you're talking about success. You gotta learn how to adjust. You know what I'm saying? When this thing ain't working, you gotta figure out, hey, what's working? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna keep me afloat when it come down to success, man? It ain't no narrow path when you're going down that journey, man. You're gonna have bumps and bruises. You're gonna be up, you're gonna be down. But you gotta be able to navigate through that. And if you can't handle pressure, you're gonna fold. You're gonna fold like the laundry, like the clothes in the laundry, man. You're gonna fold. So pressure is part of it, man. So pressure, when I'm talking about walking through them dark alleys, man, by yourself and understanding, like, man, I don't even see the light. I don't even see the light, but I'm walking by faith. And no matter how religious you are, it still come with pressure. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't religious, it all come with pressure trying to get to that next level, man. Walking through them dark alleys, man. Like, oh shit, man. Damn, I can't even see. I can't even see my next step. But, I got God here to guide me. And like I say, when you run the business, man, it's built off faith, man. And you gotta understand it. You gotta understand it, because if you don't, like I say, you won't stand a chance. Hell, when they say business is more grimier than the streets, man, that's how it is, man. Business will, chew you up, spit you out, and walk over you. I don't give a shit about you, man. Because when it come down to business, on the other end of this stick, people have mouths to feed. And I ain't making it seem like, you know what I'm saying, it's a villain world out here, man. But you gotta be on your P's and Q's, and you gotta be able to handle pressure when when it comes your way. Because if not, like I say, you ain't gonna stand a chance, man. You ain't gonna stand a chance. Yo. Because even when it come your way, the longest you stay disciplined to your principles, no matter what they look like, this a sign of handling pressure. Being disciplined. Staying focused. That's why that vision board is so important, man. A vision board. Because if you ain't got a vision, how could you lead anybody? How could you lead anything if you don't have the vision already? You know how many thoughts that come to your mind every day that you forget about? I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm be like, I do that so much. I ain't got so much better with it though. Because all of us, how many times that we have thought about something in our mind at the beginning of the morning, in the morning, and we be like, man, I'm gonna remember that later on. And then when later on come, you can't even pull it up. It's gone. So I always tell people, write your visions out, man. Put it on their vision board. 50% of the work is already done when you write it down. You gotta see it first. I want this 2025 BMW. I want that 300, 400, 500,000 dollar house. I want that $1 million house with the pool in it. How you gonna visualize when you gonna write this stuff down on having some type of alignment on what you're trying to do? Now, writing it down ain't just gonna get you there alone, but it's a start. You know what I'm saying? It's a start. And I said this once before, man. Some people turn their TV off when it come down to their future because they can't see it in their reality. They can't see it in their reality. And that's the sad part about it. And I think God gave a lot of us, fuck that, God gave everybody a vision that's capable to, you know, bring their vision to reality, man. Them thoughts don't come to your head for no reason, man. When you sit down and you daydreaming, and you saying, I want this, I want that, man, you visualizing a life that you want to live, man. And we all do it. Some of us just know when, and we got the guts to get up and go try this shit. Try. Some of us don't even try, man. We complain about their job. We complain about the situation we in. But we ain't did nothing to try to change our situation. We ain't did nothing to try to change our situation, man. A lot of us just sitting around complaining, man. And we accept what's just given to us, even if it's pennies. That's something I always told myself. Like when I got out that FedEx truck, man. When I lost my job, I told myself, like, I can always come back to this. I can always come back to this. You shouldn't crash out at your job. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be mad at the situation, because a lot of times we gotta realize it's our fault. And once I realize it's my fault, when I allow somebody to hire me, when I allow somebody to fire me, I took accountability on it. That's when things started to change. And when I realized, like, no matter what, if it go bad, I can always come back here and work this 9 to 5. But hell, I'll die in my mind if I don't take a chance and just get up and try to execute a plan. A lot of times people don't realize when you try and you even fail at the plan, you learn through that journey. You learn through that journey. You learn through that journey, and it teaches you. It teaches you to listen to not do the same thing that caused you to fail. It'll teach you don't do that same thing again. So now when you get back up, you know the road a little bit more clear. You can earn more because you know what turns to take and which ones not to. And you gotta be consistent at what you're doing, man, when it comes down to success, man. So if you got a goal, if you want to make $20,000 a month, man, and you hit that goal, let's say you hit that goal, 20,000. You gotta go back and do that again, man. You can't get content, man. Because remember, just because you made $20,000 this month, don't mean you can just sit around and it gonna automatically come to you next month. You still gotta hustle. You still gotta get up and do it. You still gotta be disciplined to that plan. You gotta be consistent with it. They say it takes 90 days to break a habit. So what about it takes 90 days to create a good habit? So you can break and make good habits at the same time. Break bad ones, make good ones. All it is up here, man. It's upstairs. Nothing happens without you thinking about it first, man. It all starts up here. So that's why you gotta think of the greater good to continue to get the greater good. You gotta continue to do that, man. So that's it for today's podcast, man. I just wanted to come on here and give y'all some gems, give y'all some game, man. I hope I was able to help some people out. But this is what we're gonna do though. You're in a position to where you need assistance with your credit, or you don't even know where to start it. I do have the description below. It'll be www.carolcapitalconsulting.com. And like I said, we do free consultation, so you'll be able to get on the call for 20 minutes, and then we'll be able to go from there. For the people who need funding, personal or business funding, if you hit the description below, we'll be able to assist you with that as well. And for the ones who just don't have a lot of money to work with, and you want to change your situation, you want to be in a better position. You know what I'm saying? I do have ebooks that you will be able to take advantage of, and you will be able to do it yourself more. Do it yourself type service. And we have those down in the description below too. But for the new people who just tapping in, thanks for pulling up a chair and seeing me today. And I will see y'all in the next video.